Hey, DRB people, Tunner here. There was a question in today's reading. Esau asks it 3 times. He says to his father, Isaac, Father, isn't there a blessing for me too? And he just doesn't ask it in the way I asked it there. No, he pleads, he's crying, he is begging his father for a favorable answer to that question. Oh, Father, isn't there a blessing for me too? Now, you're familiar with the story, right? I mean, you listen to the podcast, obviously, right? So you know that he's been bamboozled by his brother Jacob twice now, first for his birthright and now for his father's final blessing. And he's desperate that somehow his father's favor and blessing would still be for him too. In the past, frankly, I would gloss over that particular passage because I had my own assumptions about it. I assumed that there was something within the nature and the character of Esau. He was so undeserving that it was reasonable for his father to bless Jacob in the end and exclude Esau. But I spent a little more time reflecting today on that passage, on that question. And it's so important for us to slow down and listen to the questions that are being asked in the Bible. Esau asks today, Oh, Father, don't you have more than one blessing? Don't you have a blessing for me too? Now, in the past, I would make a connection between Jacob and God, or Isaac and God. Isaac in this particular story represented a kind of God-like, father-like figure, and that somehow God is like Isaac, or Isaac is like God, right? Isaac chooses, God chooses. Isaac blesses, God blesses. And I don't understand how that blessing gets doled out, but I assume there are some pretty valid reasons for it. And just go on to the next chapter and move on. But I wanted to spend more time on that because I actually started to hear it a little bit better than I had before. And to bring to it Jesus, to invite Jesus into this conversation that we're having in the Bible, the questions that are being drawn up. And when I look at that particular question in the light of Jesus, well, those assumptions that I had before about this and that and how this is kind of like, etc., well, they begin to completely be upended and changed because Jesus was always saying to the Esau's of the world, yes, yes, there's a blessing for you too. As undeserving as you might be, as unqualified as you might be, as much of an outsider as you might be, God has a blessing for you too. So it's important for us. I guess I read that and I heard that today, and it just felt like good news. And once again, the Bible, just the Lord speaking through the Bible, looking at the Bible through the lens of Jesus, begins to reveal something that is so much more hopeful and so much of a greater and clearer and more generous understanding of the nature and the character of God when we look at the stories of the Bible through Jesus. So let me encourage you to pay close attention to the questions that are being asked and allow Jesus to be your filter as you examine them all, as they examine you. And let's go forward with greater joy as a result. All right? So glad to be on this journey with you guys. Let's keep on doing it one day at a time in His love. All right. Talk to you again tomorrow or in the podcast tomorrow. Take care.